Happy 2017, everybody. I hope you had a nice Christmas and New Year, and have managed to avoid catching a winter cold, like I have right now. Let's talk about the reason you're actually here, though. Anime. It'd be easy for me to just go, here's my top 5 animes of the year, go watch them. But I feel like mixing it up a little bit and giving each show its own award. So let's get things started with the Guilty Pleasure Award. I don't actually feel that guilty about loving this show, but it of course goes to Yuri on Ice. If I told you at the start of 2016 that one of the best shows of the year would be about ice skating, you'd have probably just accepted it, actually. I mean, we already have a great one about swimming, and there's one about male netball that's meant to be pretty good. So I suppose it's only a matter of time until we probably get a top-notch anime about zookeeping or something. Anyway, reasons it's got this award for me are that some moments in the show have this movie-style polish to them. Some of them are a lot more comparable to what Studio Ghibli put out in style than, you know, what you get on your usual anime, where you have animation like this. Don't get me wrong, some of the animation can be a little bit janky in some of the early skating scenes, but when they have to nail it, boy do they deliver. Another thing about the show that I think would put a lot of people off watching Yuri on Ice is the yaoi elements, which basically means dude on dude love. And yes, you know, it's present, the show is definitely driven by the growing relationship between Victor and Yuri, but it acts mainly as a plot device. It's kind of like if you met your idol in real life and the two of you really got along, and then you sort of based your whole routine on trying to, like, romance them, but to outdo their prior performances. I think the best way to describe it is it's like how Leonardo DiCaprio sleeps inside of a bear for The Revenant. Did he do that? Let me Google that. I googled it, he does actually sleep in an animal carcass. Good job, past me, good script writing. You know, it may not be something he does on a daily basis, but it's gonna get the best kind of acting performance out of you. And for Leo, that helps him win an Oscar. For Yuri, that's gonna help him pursue Olympic gold, baby! Anyway, to cut my rambling short, the good points, I think this is one of the only animes where I've genuinely cared about every single character. Like, everyone has their own believable motivations for wanting to win, and I'm 100% serious when I say this, if they make a JJ spin-off, I'd be on that premium Crunchyroll membership in seconds. Seriously, make that spin-off, that beautiful bastard skates his goddamn heart out in some of those scenes. Art style, 10 out of 10 for the most part, pacing of the show, 10 out of 10, the theme song, you guessed it, 10 out of 10, shit sounds like it came straight from a Suicide Sheep upload. And with that, we're going to move on to the next award, which is for the best comeback. And that goes straight to Berserk 2016. A lot of people hate the new CG art style, but I find it a pretty nice break to the usual anime. It's by no means perfect, and there's definitely a lot wrong with the animation on the show, but by the third episode my eyes had kind of adjusted to the CG style at least. The original series gave us some extremely fucked up moments back in 1997, and if you've seen the original show, you definitely know what I'm talking about. I literally have to take a shower and contemplate life every time I rewatch that. This new series also manages to give us some extremely fucked up moments, and with an almost 20-year gap between the two shows, as I've already stated, that's some damn good consistency. I think as the show progresses, it'll definitely improve. And plus, if you've seen Guts, the giant sword, the cool armor, like 90% of cool characters in games and even other animes are pretty much ripped off this guy. For this next award I'm handing out, I honestly tried, but I couldn't come up with a better name for it than the I Wanna Be a Naruto award. And that goes straight to Kaijo! Also, what's the deal with exclamation points this year? I mean, come on, just want me to shout all the titles, or were all the good anime usernames taken? So to explain Kaijo as good as possible to you, I have to ask, have you guys ever played Dead or Alive Extreme? You know that game where the girls stand on the disc in the water and butt bash each other until one falls off? Well, take the platform they're on, make it a plane, and take that gentle nudging and turn it into some Dragon Ball Z style action. Take the girls, hopefully keep them around the same age, or else this anime is really something I shouldn't be recommending. Basically, to cut a long story short, they finally made the perfect anime for 15-year-olds. And me. No shame. This show to me is like watching early episodes of Naruto all over again. You got your chakra use, your hand signs, Mikasa from Attack on Titan, fantastic art inconsistencies, the main character not really having a personality outside of wanting to be the Hokage best Kaijo player, and every single goddamn character more or less having a troubling backstory. Now don't get me wrong, Keijo's a newer show and it does handle that last point a lot better than other shows we've seen. So far we have managed to avoid having a 50-episode filler arc on Mio's backstory, but I mean, you know, there's season 2's on the horizon, I'm sure that's coming. There's not much more I feel like I can really say about this show. Like, a finishing move is called the vacuum butt cannon. Like, can you think of a cooler saying for farting? Vacuum butt cannon. If you haven't already got this show up on a separate tab ready to watch, I'm pretty ashamed of you right now. This next award's probably my favourite on the list, and it's going to be the most useful to any of you that ever watch anime with friends, and that's the Anime Drinking Game Award, which goes to Shokugeki no Soma Season 2. For those of you that haven't seen the show already, it's basically people having orgasms over well-cooked food for a total of 37 episodes. And it's amazing. Seriously, Soma restored my faith in the fact that animes can have good main characters. He helps his friends instead of being helped by his friends in every episode, and instead of constantly telling everyone he wants to be the best, looking at you, Naruto, he just challenges everyone in sight to a cook-off, and proves it. The man's on a suicidal culinary quest to be the best damn chef in the world, and that's something I can get behind. Anyway, on to the drinking game rules. You ready? You got a pen and paper? Rule 1. Take a sip every time someone says umami. Rule 2. There is no rule 2.
超特級の旨味旨味成分でタツの旨味成分が美な旨味を持つ淡い旨味が特徴それは海苔の旨味を抽出しアルギン酸ナトリウムと塩化カルシウムによって球状
This next award goes to the most surprising anime of the year. And by that I mean you pretty much judge it by its cover art and then the show exceeds expectations. And for me this year, that was definitely Nanbaka. You ever seen Nichijou? I caught it earlier on this year, and it's awesome. It's like watching a sketch comedy show. There's no real plot to the whole thing. It's just a weird little slice of life. Now, when I first saw Nanbaka, I thought it was going to be a similar sort of show to that. But buried beneath all the bright colours, the cool visuals, and over-the-top characters, there's plot. Good plot. The only way I can think to actually explain the show is to kind of just ramble and geek out over it for a couple of minutes. So just bear with me. The show is one of the best looking animes of the year. Like, it's so colourful, except when it's not colourful. Like, the colours are literally being used to reflect the inner feelings of the main character without the show telling you that's what they're doing. It's just great, you know, everything looks different. And this, hair's not normally blue. How about this? Since when's hair green? Also, all the other guards have features relating to animals, which makes them easily classifiable, and they all have their own distinct personality. And then look at this guy. He's actually an interesting character. He looks like Tien from Dragon Ball. That's basically a death sentence, you know? It has you saying, oh yay, a bald guy in an anime. I bet he shouts a lot and does nothing relevant. But I was wrong. He's great, you know? He's actually the most interesting character in the whole show. And look at her. Think she's the stern boss lady? Think again, another great shock. That's why it got the award. And here's the theme song. You got some like Japanese math rock right there, you know, it's awesome. And then look at this. It's like a weird 3D face bit during the theme song. Like, how'd they do that? That's just really cool. I want to know how to do that. Like, I got no ideas. Whew, I'm gonna stop now. That's like too much enthusiasm. I think I'm going lightheaded. Just go give it a watch. It's a good one. Moving on, and it's finally time to cap off the list with the prestigious Anime of the Year award. And for me, that goes to Mob Psycho. I see those pitchforks, I'm just gonna get a little bit more controversial right now, and say to me, the show was like a much better One Punch Man. Okay, allow me to explain. The show had me sat there at the start of every episode singing along to the theme song, which literally just involves counting to 100. I mean, I'm 22 years old and I spent a good 18 minutes over the course of watching the show, just counting from 1 to 100. And I felt great about it. I feel like the clips going on in the background as I talk are probably enough to get you interested in wanting to see the show yourself. I've held back a lot of good clips and a lot of funny moments from this one, because I don't want to spoil anything. But to sum up whether you should watch this anime or not, I've got a few questions. Do you like trippy visuals? Check. Do you like comedy? More than check. How about action? Check. How about ridiculous pineapple haircut? For some reason, check. What about spoon bending? Yep, check, we got that shit too. See, this show has pretty much everything you could ask for. The plot revolves around a really reserved kid with psychic powers, called Mob. Also, Mob as a gaming term is like an enemy in an MMO that, you know, continually spawns. You just go kill a bunch of boars or something, you kill a bunch of mobs. So it's kind of like an ignorable, you know, background character almost, and that's the name of the main character. Little bit of cool thinking's gone in there by the creator. The show is very similar to One Punch Man. It kind of follows Mob as he deals with day-to-day things like school and girls and exercising ghosts with his fake psychic mentor Reagan, who also happens to be the most entertaining character I've seen in years within an anime. There's a really cool moment in each episode where something happens to Mob and it'll cut away to show a meter building up, and it represents one of Mob's growing emotions. So if there's ever a break from action in the show and nothing's really going on, you're kind of just on the edge of your seat waiting to see what's going to push that meter forward towards 100. And when that meter hits 100, the payoff is fantastic. When this show came out, I'd pretty much just finished watching Space Dandy, which I genuinely believe may be one of the best animes of all time. This show managed to fill that dandy-shaped hole that had been left in my life. So I can pretty much say that without Mob Psycho 100, I probably wouldn't have watched all the other shows on this list. Also, what a damn good year for theme songs, right? Here's all of their theme songs at once. I know there's some great shows out there like ReZero and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable that I haven't got around to watching just yet, and I'm sure there's many others too. So if you guys fancy commenting below, you should let me know which animes you enjoyed in 2016. If you want to give them some medals like I did, you know, go nuts. It'll probably actually make me more interested in going back and watching them, so you could be turning me and other people who read the comments onto some really good shows. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. You've officially earned the title of Cool Guy, which means you have the honor of hitting that subscribe button below. Shameless marketing, that's how I'm gonna end this video. Happy 2017.